Let's talk about Stronger With You Parfum. It is such a relief to come record on YouTube. I feel like whenever I have to do my TikTok videos, due to the fact that like TikTok has such a short attention span, I have to like cut it like really quickly. I have to focus on saying things a lot quicker. Like I can't think. I basically just have to talk. And then when I come film a YouTube video, because I have more time to speak, I feel a lot less pressure. I just got done doing my TikTok video for the Stronger With You Parfum. And so I just filmed that, edited it, and then I'm like, okay, now I get to just talk about it like a normal person. And I can just have a conversation with you without having to make it crazy, essentially. So let's get right into it. Stronger With You Parfum. Now, in my opinion, I think small little sip of coffee because we're hanging out. I don't have to just, get your attention in 5 seconds. Anyways, Stronger With You Parfum, in my opinion, out of the more attainable Stronger With You fragrances, I'm not talking about some of the other ones that are a little bit hard to find, but I'm talking about the original, the Absolutely, the Intensely. I do think this one is the best one. I've tried pretty much all of the Stronger With You lines from the lines, and I would say that this one's probably my fourth in the lineup. I would say that Stronger With You Amber is probably my number one. Stronger With You Oud would be in my number two. Stronger With You Sandalwood will be my number three. And then I will probably put Stronger With You Parfum at the fourth place. And then I would probably put Absolutely at fifth. My only problem with the Absolutely, the Intensely, is that they're just way too sweet. And personally, those types of scents to me are very cloying. I do get really tired of super sweet scents. And I'm not a small person. Like I'm not the tallest or biggest guy, but especially right now I'm a little chunky. So I don't like to I don't know, I don't like to smell like a cake or toffee or cinnamon. I don't like to smell like that. It's not my personal taste. I feel like it doesn't fit my vibe. It doesn't fit the way I dress. And it also just gets super tiring on my nose after smelling something so sweet for so long. But let's get down into the actual breakdown of this fragrance. What I'll do is I'll talk about the notes. I'll kind of mention it. And I read off notes because some people like to see it. Personally, I feel like notes are a good guide, but it doesn't really explain the experience with the fragrance. So, notes are elemi resin and pink pepper. And then in the heart notes you have cinnamon, clary sage, and lavender. And then at those base notes you're gonna have a bourbon vanilla, some leather, marin glace, and cedar. Now I did pull this up on Parfumo instead of Fragrantica because I feel like Fragrantica kind of doesn't always have the perfect notes. Sometimes Parfumo won't have a fragrance and then I'll use Fragrantica. But I feel like this one is a little bit more accurate from what I'm actually smelling on the fragrance. So upon spraying this fragrance, I'm not a huge fan of it. It does feel a little syrupy in the opening, which makes you almost feel like the fragrance is going to have a more fresh and sweet like it's gonna be a fruitier, a sweet fragrance, like it's gonna be a fresher version of the Absolutely, but you will be wrong if you go based off the opening. At about maybe 5 minutes, the dry down starts. The fragrance completely changes. It is not a linear fragrance at all. I would say if you're a big fan of the Intensely, you will like the opening, but as this fragrance dries down, you're gonna get like this smokiness. It actually is kind of maybe mind-blowing, I guess. I don't know if mind-blowing is the right word, but like I did not expect this to take such a big turn because it does open syrupy. And I'm not a big fan of like a synthetic syrup smell, and that's what I get in the opening, which I don't love. I won't say it's bad because it truly is not a bad opening, but it is a little syrupy in my nose. Some people might have a different opinion, but that's just my perception of it. And then now the dry down, man, the dry down is actually beautiful because it's smoky, leathery, feels drier, and it feels more masculine, more mysterious. I feel like when you wear some of the other ones in the line, you don't have a mystery factor to it, which this one has. This fragrance right here brings a masculine punch. And this is the type of smell that I personally like. And I think that honestly, if you have some of the other flankers, but you don't love them, or if you passed on the Stronger With You line because of the sweetness, this one will be one that you will truly enjoy. However, if you're still a big fan of the Stronger With You line, this still has that original DNA. So you're still gonna find this appealing because, to be honest, they still bring in that vanilla, they still bring in that like cinnamon type vibe, and they're still bringing in that like, I guess not necessarily toffee, but that like, I don't know exactly which one it is, but that like very easy to pinpoint DNA of Stronger With You. This still has it. It's almost like you have a car and the infrastructure, like I don't know if you guys know, maybe this is me talking too much shit, but sometimes companies will collaborate with each other. For example, Toyota and Subaru have the same car, quote unquote, the BRZ and the GR86, and basically they still have the same like framework, I guess, the same scaffolding or whatever you call it. I don't know what the word is. But then at the end of the day, you know, Toyota and Subaru kind of take their own routes to do their own little tweaks, right? So the casing, the underground underlying framework is still the same, but you're changing the exterior things. That is how I can describe it. They keep that same DNA, that same framework, and then they just move things around it to make it its own type of thing. So honestly, I do think it's a great fragrance. I think it's worth it if you can find it at a good price. I'm not sure if any discounter has it right now, but if you can find it for a decent price, retail, I'd say it might still be worth retail. I don't know. It's gonna be dependent on to you. If you really want it and you really like it, then sure, retail would be fine. If not, just wait for it to drop on discounters. I'm not sure if it is already, but I think it is a good fragrance. I honestly would wear it consistently. Those are my thoughts on it. I would recommend it if you like the Stronger With You line. Oh, I wanted to say, if there is someone who I think shouldn't get this fragrance, is somebody who essentially already has all of the other flankers, and it's kind of like, well, you know, what am I gonna do with another flanker? Like, you know, and that's if you're not super passionate about it. If you really love them and you love collecting the Stronger With You line, then for sure get it, yeah. But like, if you have Absolutely, Intensely, and the OG, and maybe some of the other ones, then it might be a little bit redundant because again, it's still that same idea, but it does bring in its own kind of, whatever you call it. But anyways, those are my thoughts. I hope this kind of helps you get a little bit of a different perspective from, you know, I guess, you know, whether deciding if you should get it or not. And hopefully you learned something today. Guys, thank you so much for the support. The YouTube channel is growing, and I do want to make this kind of my main page just because like I feel like I truly connect with you guys through YouTube versus some of the other platforms. The way the algorithm works, there's a lot of other people that see my page other than, not that YouTube doesn't do that, but I don't know, I feel like I can be more thorough, I can be more myself here, and this has the outlet for the community that I want to build. So thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you for commenting, liking, and definitely if you're watching my channel for the first time, consider subscribing. Leave a comment down below. You guys know that I always answer. Thanks for watching. And like I always say, make sure to follow Tony Aromas for more.